Hey guys, thanks for watching. Today I will be doing a book review on a book called Unsung Davids by Ben Barrack. Alright, so this book, I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. That is a positive recommendation. I would recommend you go read the book. It's a 4-star on Amazon, costs $17, and I will get into the nitty-gritty of how I came up with the score and what exactly it means at the end of this video. For right now, I just want to talk about what is this book. So this book, the guy who wrote it is Ben Barrack. He's a conservative talk show personality from around my hometown. That's how I found out about this book. So he writes about 10 people that he came to know through his radio talk show. And these are unsung Davids. That is, these are 10 people that he feels, Ben Barrack feels, don't get the attention they deserve. It says on the backstory, the story of David versus Goliath is perhaps the best personification of the fight between good and evil. Each of the 10 men pictured below knows what it's like to be engaged in such a battle, yet they remain unsung. That is, they don't get the attention they deserve. I'll give you 3 brief people that sort of represent what the book contains. First, Richard Landis versus Pallywood. There's a concept talked about in the book that I had no idea about this. It's called Pallywood. That is, in the Middle East, apparently, there are Arabs that will play, and they will do this all in front of Western media cameras. And sometimes the Western media, even knowing that they're faking it, will go ahead and use it because it will feed in towards their ideology. Now, a lot of these concepts are kind of like out there and crazy, and I would just go, oh, that's totally bogus. Except that his book has nearly 100 pages of citations. It borders on being a scholarly work. Another guy is Roberto Micheletti versus the World. That's the name of the chapter. Now, in the actual chapter, Micheletti is an interim leader of a small country, and that country has to deal with America, the United Nations, foreign media. So Ben Barrack goes ahead and takes the liberty and says that it's really the whole world against this guy. And that really, I picked that out because that really explains the concept of David versus Goliath very well in another dimension. Yes, there's the struggle of good versus evil that he mentions on the back cover in the summary, but there's also this notion throughout the book that he's talking about underdogs. He's talking about guys who they are far out overpowered. Now, the third guy I would point to would be O'Neill Dozier versus the Republican Party. Why do I bring this up? Well, in that chapter, the Republican Party is the bad guy. So this really shows signs of sophistication by Ben Barrack. You know, as I mentioned, he's a conservative talk show host. But in this book, he actually talks some trash about the Republican Party. It shows that he's not a one-sided, blind ideologue. Rather, he does look at both sides of the issue, and he does not have a problem criticizing his own party when they screw up. So there's 7 other guys, very interesting stuff. The book is $17, Amazon.com. It's a 4-star on Amazon, and it's at a 6.5 from me, and that is a recommendation. So that's what the book's about. But how did I get that 6.5 score? The 6.5 score comes from 2 subscores. That is a substance subscore and an expression subscore. So the point of a book, in my opinion, is to have an idea that you want to get across to a reader. So having the idea, what is the quality of that idea? Is it a good idea? Is it better than other ideas I could get from reading other books? That all goes to substance. Expression goes to how well do I get that idea across? Am I clear in my wording? Is my grammar good? Things like that. Am I entertaining? Do I sustain your attention? Do I make you actually want to read? That's all expression. So I gave him an 8.5 subscore in substance and a 4.5 subscore in expression. Keep in mind, a lot of people, their 5 will be average. That's not how I score. A 5 to me is as good as I could have done because I'm not familiar with all the books in every genre. This book has a lot of niched information you can't get anywhere else. So to say that I've compared it to the average of all of the books in that genre would not be a very intellectually honest way to approach the situation. To be fair, the edition that I got was not the final published version. I got one of the pre-finalized versions, and I have seen the finalized version, and there are a lot of mistakes corrected. So it might be the case that that finalized version, I haven't read the finalized version all the way through, that one might have some better expression in it. So that's how I came up with that score. Thanks for watching. Highly recommend the book. Take care.